Hi everyone. It's Sunday afternoon for me. It's probably early evening for some of you, and I am getting started on this a little bit later than I had expected, but I've had a lot to do today. So I want to talk to you about the assignment that is due tomorrow, which is your argument paper or your persuasive essay. And this week is about persuasion, writing to persuade, and I have our week open, which is found under content, and when you drop it down you'll see that it is writing to persuade, and there are readings and learning activities. Specifically, the best ones for your paper are writing good paragraphs and writing to persuade. And then of course there is the discussion that we've been talking about, argument and analyzing argument essays. And then the assignment, which is creating an argument. And so I just wanted to open this and go over a few things with you before showing you some other resources and examples. So this talks about creating an effective argument, which is an essential skill, and it's something that we do all the time in real life. We always argue about what we like, what we don't like, what's good, what's bad. We're evaluating everything from the TV shows we watch to the food we eat, to our clothes and things like that, and different brands. But it's important to be able to do this in writing as well, because you'll be doing this in school and possibly for your work. So before completing this assignment, it says to review certain of the learning activities and information and resources, and I'm going to be including more resources for you with this video under our announcements. And then it says choose one of these bulleted points or another one that you got approved by me. But what I want to stress about this is that this is an argument. That means it is not about showing the pros and cons or both sides of a debate or both sides of an issue. It's a matter of taking a side, taking a position on something, and then developing it, and giving information and evidence in order to support your argument. All right, so it says this is a 425 to 550 word persuasive argument, that you have to follow a specific structure. And this is the academic format. This is the 5-paragraph structure that we've been talking about, okay? It says include your introduction, include the middle, which is your body, and include your conclusion. And let's see, it says present your position in your introduction. It's the last sentence of the introduction. It is your thesis statement. And then make sure to proofread it, revise it, and edit it. And again, I've included a template, an APA template, and APA example paper. There's some more information. You can look at that. All right, so I want to start by showing you a very simple handout that I have on arguments, okay? And this talks about the terms. What does argument mean? Argument means making a claim and supporting it using logic. Persuasion is making a claim and supporting it with logic, but also using feelings and emotions in order to really engage the reader and appeal to their feelings about something. You can see persuasion in most of advertising, and especially in public service announcements, such as when they say, donate to starving children or help animals that have been abandoned and are in shelters. All right, so you need to make your claim, which is the position that you're taking on the issue. You need to use evidence, which are the facts that support your claim. You need to show how those claims actually show how that evidence supports your claims, and you have to add a counter argument, which is what others will say that are on the other side of your position, and then tell why that doesn't take away from your own argument. And you have to think about your audience, and we've been talking about that too, the rhetorical situation. So this handout that I'm going to post has a very simple argument, and this is, should metal bats be banned in youth baseball? This is their introduction, And their thesis is right here. Metal bats are dangerous and should be banned by youth sports leagues for several reasons. And so that allows you, the writer, to give 2 reasons, 3, 4 reasons, rather than what's called the 3-point thesis, where you actually state your first reason, second reason, and third reason. This allows for more reasons or less reasons. So here you can see the first reason: baseballs hit with metal bats travel at a higher rate of speed than those hit with wooden bats. Okay, and then they're going to explain how that then can create more danger. And there's always a concluding sentence to a paragraph, to one of the paragraphs, one of the supporting ideas or reasons in this case, focused on one specific reason and concluded. Consequently, the high rate of speed makes using a metal bat dangerous. In addition, that's our transition, there have been many instances of players getting hurt by baseballs hit with metal bats. And the evidence and details and the conclusion. Now this one is very simple. It has 2 reasons and it has the counter argument. So you can see the structure. Some people claim, here's the counter argument. Some people, that's weird. Some people claim that wooden bats are too expensive to supply to youth leagues because they are not as long lasting. This is true. Even so, a higher cost should not matter when safety is concerned. So there's the counter argument, and then the author addresses the counter argument and explains how this does not take away from their argument. Okay, and then finally, the conclusion starts with the thesis. The intro ends with the thesis. The conclusion starts with the thesis, sums up the main points, and adds the final significance. You want to leave your reader with a strong final point or idea, but not a new idea, but one that really drives this home and is usually that emotion or that you're trying to engage the reader with. Banning metal bats is necessary in order to save the lives of young players. Okay, I am also including for you to look at some argument outline examples, or how to create an argumentative essay outline, okay? And I'm including a few because they're a little different. This one explains what you need, explains what each part is, and then gives you some examples for each of these, okay? I like this one because it gives you examples for each part. This one shows you another way to create an argument essay and also give you some examples. Not as many, and doesn't explain it the way the other ones does, but the other one does, but it also has some more information here. And then this one is a graphic organizer outline. And these can really help you to make sure you are including the right information and in the right order, that you're organizing your information correctly. And then this one is one from week 2, essay structure, and it also gives you a very brief but easy to follow argument. Companies can avoid uncomfortable situations and increase productivity and happiness in workers by ensuring there is adequate family leave, allowing work at home days for applicable positions, and encouraging the use of all vacation time. And I like this because it tells you here's the thesis, here's the transition, focused paragraphs. It shows you how they're structured, and the conclusion. Very, very easy. And this one's all about writing a thesis statement. And then I'm going to include one other resource for you. And that is one of my student papers that was written several months ago. And this is called The Advantage of Working Remotely. Make sure that you include your own title for your essay. It's not the assignment title. It is the title that reflects the topic of your paper. This is an APA, and she allowed me to show this to you and use this as an example, so her name is here. But the title is repeated on the first page. Let me open this a little bit more. She starts with a hook, which is a quote. And that also lets you know that this is going to be about working remotely. It doesn't tell you what her argument is at this point, but it hooks the reader. It creates engagement. And then it ends with the thesis. And I've just put that in red so you can see that. Though not everyone may like the idea of working remotely, many others have found that working from home saves money, time, which leads to better health and increases productivity. She uses headings. You do not have to. Headings are usually 2 to 3 words. First level headings are bold in the middle. Again, you do not have to do that. You can if you choose, but I've also put in red the first sentence of every body paragraph, which is the topic sentence and states the point of that paragraph. And remember, a paragraph is focused around one single idea. Every detail in that paragraph goes to develop and support that one single idea. So we call paragraphs unified, focused, coherent, and cohesive, meaning they are organized in a logical order and they contain transitions and words that help to create relationships between every sentence. She used a quote and it is cited here. She explains that quote and uses a concluding sentence. And then again, another advantage. There's the topic sentence, developed with details, and the conclusion. And the final topic sentence, which is the final advantage of working remotely, is it increases productivity. She develops that using details and evidence, and the final concluding sentence. And then she includes a counter argument, and that is there are still those that feel that working at home is not right for them and makes them feel lonely, makes them feel disconnected from their job. They cite reasons such as feeling lonely or unmotivated, and she does give a support for this, evidence for this, and then she counters this. She rebuts it. She tells why this is still not enough to say that working remotely is not better. This may be true for some people, but overall geographical barriers are lifted, time is saved, stress decreases, and work-life balance improve, making working at home increase overall well-being. The conclusion starts with the thesis, works out, the final statement of significance, the way it ends, and the references in alphabetical order: Bloom, Desberg, John, McKinsey and Company, Moore, and Wolfer. Whatever is seen here, the first word or the first few words of a title of an article is what should be cited in the body of your text, which is called the in-text citation. This has more than one author, so it would be Bloom et al. This one would be Desberg, and of course the date is what's used inside in the in-text citation. This is John, the date, McKinsey and Company, the date, Moore, the date, and Wolfer, the date. So if I look for Wolfer, let's see if we can find this pretty easily. Well, here's Desberg, 23, and when I go back to my references, I see Desberg. Okay, you guys. So I just wanted to go over a little bit about creating arguments. You have tonight, you have all day tomorrow to finish working on this. If there's anything you see that you might need to revise, you can do so and resubmit. I hope you're having a good weekend. If you have any questions, let me know.